Spinning. Says we're live. I don't have the music. Turn the music on, Rip.
Okay, I'm turning it on right now. Boop. Music is now officially on.
All right.
If I can't hear what we'll do, I'll try and follow your head, Bob. This and that. Haven't shaved all week, so my whiskers are growing in my mouth, but what the hell, right?
I'm gray. I'm about as gray as you now.
No, you're a little bit.
Look at that.
Well, hell, mine was like that when I was 32, Vaughn. I just put the shit on there. You know, it was okay for a while.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. We live.
We're on live. Can you hear me? Is this thing on?
I can hear you.
All right.
Yes, I hear you. Yes.
All right. It is Friday, June 27th, 2025. Wrestling with Rip Rogers. Ask Rip Rogers live.
Live, baby.
Hope everybody can hear us out there.
I can hear you.
MDQQ, our audio video guy, says audio and video is good.
Okay,
Perfect.
well we got that. Is great. Hey, is the vet in there yet?
He didn't even do a stop by to say hello in the beginning and leave. He's not nowhere to be seen.
Okay, he retweeted or something, so that might have been his. He had to do something important, or just practicing being the army of one instead of the army of two, or something like that. I don't know.
Todd Montgomery here, Screaming Baboon in here in green. Frank's Pickle Barrel ass 6402 in here in green. Shane Parks, I don't know why they all have numbers on them now. I don't know. It's looking different on my screen than it used to. Shane Parks in green in the house. Patrick Young, time for class. Shane Parks said going to be 81 today and 93 by Sunday. Well, Shane, here in Indianapolis, Indiana, it's been in the 90s all week. Hasn't it, Rip, here in Indianapolis? Been in the 90s.
Yeah, it's burning up. It's in the 90s in Indianapolis.
Got a new phone. Don't know how to turn the ringer off. There it is.
I just turned mine off too, because if not, somebody will get into it and it'll flip off and you'll go off for a couple seconds or whatever.
Dave's channel sending me something. Eric Embry joins Monty and Pharaoh. He said, you made Monty and the Pharaoh. Salute. So we must have made some show or something, Rip.
No, Monty and the Pharaohs, they got a real good podcast.
Okay, well, we're on it, apparently, is what I'm telling you.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Somehow they I don't know. So you watch it, huh?
Every once in a while, anything I get, it's an accident, because I don't watch any TV. So I'll just look at stuff on my phone and flip through there. If I see them on, they're always entertaining. They always have good guests on there. It's like me and Eric Embry go way back. I remember he was working for Nick Goulas and stuff. And then this was before ICW was started. And I was going to go to Mississippi for the Calkins. Eric Embry, he was going out to Vancouver to do his first territory, going up Vancouver, British Columbia, and Vancouver, British Columbia. He's going to go work for, this is when Al Tomko was there, but Gene Kaniski was there then. So I didn't see Eric for years. Then he had a couple booking stints in for Dallas years ago. So he turned out to be a real good pro.
He had like the bleached blonde hair, didn't he?
At one time, I think he was like me. Sometimes it was blonde, sometimes it was dark or whatever. He used to work.
He had the blonde hair and the dark beard. Yeah. I could be wrong on that though.
Probably did, but I don't know if he did the whole time, because I remember when he started, he didn't. And he used to work for Dale TNT Man also. So
he did.
Yeah, a lot of top stars coming out of Dale.
Where else was he at? He was
Dallas.
Was he?
Yeah. Then he'd been out of business for a long time. I think he lives in Florida now. He might have moved again, but.
So he's not a part of that podcast. He was just like a guest.
They have guests on there.
I'm asking Dave what minute marker. I don't want to try to go through that whole show and find it, but I did hear Cornette mention you again the other day. He was talking about somebody being FR And he said, just like Rip Rogers would say, fucking rotten.
All right. We to keep up on everything, I'm looking as much stuff that Jimmy's talking about. So there ain't nothing wrong with that. If you're going to steal from the best.
There you go. He gave you credit at least.
Okay.
Talion in the house. Big George in the house. Looks like both of your cats died. I don't know what that means. Do we look sad? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know.
You think I look sad today, Rip?
No, you just look normal.
Just normal with a grayer beard?
Well, I guess, yeah, maybe if you was looking younger and the hot 18-year-olds might want the older, mature male. But now you look like a goddamn monster from Sammy Terry Nightmare Theater when you have the lights down low, the shadows.
There, how about that?
This is the greatest you've looked today.
Yeah. Screaming Baboon, I said. Puzzy Monsters in the house. I don't know. All the names are different now on my screen. They're all the @ symbol in their whole name with the numbers behind them. And Bull Digging in the house in green.
KBD.
George said my youngest daughter is getting married today, and I'm doing the ceremony. Yet he's in our chat today.
Well, I guess it's only noon there where he's at, so he's probably getting married. Probably wouldn't get married on a Friday afternoon. Probably get married on a Friday night or something.
Congrats, George. Way to be listening to Rip Rogers instead of preparing for the wedding tonight.
Well, today. You know how it is. We're just over. Can't help it.
Yeah. Bull Diggins got the flu, man. Terrible flu going around there in Germany.
No, it's probably some kind of I hope he hadn't been dipping in it with the males again. It could be some kind of AIDS or something like that. Or
that's enlightening. That's encouraging.
I'm just saying. I'm hoping he hasn't. So if he hadn't, it couldn't have been that. But then again,
you haven't been to Germany lately, have you, Rip?
No, not. No. I left a lot of carcasses there. That's for sure.
Eric Embry was in Memphis. Okay. Yep. Putt Ripper, Po Tripper Jr.'s in the house. He said I brought the guns today. I don't know about that. They're pretty weak these days, but
we got the cap pistols now instead of the guns.
That's right. I should have got a good pump in before.
Yeah, you should have.
Before I got on here today. What else we got here? Shane Parks, $2 super sticker. Let's see if he's got a question somewhere. Thanks, Shane. I don't know if I've missed your question. If not, get one in there, Shane. Here it is. Ever wrestle Jay York, the Alaskan?
No,
Do you know him?
I know who he is. I've never been in the same place with him.
Never heard of him.
Well, you're too young.
Well, again, I've heard of wrestlers that are old.
Okay, well, and I guess
I've
you
heard of the Beatles. I wasn't around for the Beatles, but I've heard of them.
Okay, well,
you know. Heard of Bruno Sammartino. I was pretty young then too.
Oh, I listened to the thing with Bruno. About 20 minutes he was talking about stuff. He was just as normal as you can get and interesting as hell. How he got pretty much somebody ribbed him or whatever, and he missed a show for Vince Jr. when he was starting, so they fired him for missing a booking, and he didn't know he was supposed to be there. So he worked in Canada for 2 straight years, and then McMahon brought him back. Vince Sr. Put him over Buddy Rogers, and then he was a champion for 8 straight years. And then he gave him the belt back. He said, "I'm tired." And then he had another run. I can't remember how long it was, over a year, maybe a year or 2, whatever. But he was just interesting to listen to because he was just monotone, talking normal, like wrestlers never do.
Yeah. Hey, Rip, we didn't even talk about it, man. How about that big Pacer loss? NBA Finals, Game 7.
The bad part about it was how Halliburton got hurt. So he's probably going to be out half the year. Probably might be a whole year next year.
I'm sure he will be. I looked up Kevin Durant was out 18 months when he did.
Yeah. Yeah. That Achilles tendon is so bad. And when he went out and was playing under pain in the semifinals before they hit the final game, and then but if he didn't play, they probably would have lost that one anyway. So at least they got to the final game. But looking back at it now, I wish he wouldn't have played. He'd been healthy, be ready to next year. But
came out on fire though, man. Hit those 3 long ones, three balls deep.
Yeah, looked like he was Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, she's cracking.
Yeah, they've cracked her, man.
They've cracked her.
She's about 1 for her last 40 and then sat out last night.
Yeah, well, she's got a hurt groin.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess. Or she's just fed up with it all.
Well, I think, if I was her, I'd be fed up with it. Hell, what's his face offered her for that 3-on-3 league. He offered her $5 million to go work there. She could go to Europe and work, make more money. She'd be a basketball goddess there. She wouldn't have any stress. That league would open up all their arms to her to push her instead of fucking trying to knock her out because she's in the thug league. That's all there is to it. And that's the way it is. And she can see that. So if I was her, I just go to Europe and have a good time and have a good life.
Yeah, and then see how popular the WNBA is after that.
Yeah, I never watched 1 second of the WNBA in my life until I heard about her. And I looked her up, seen her, then I watched her, and everybody picking on her the first year. Still led the league in assists, almost 20 points a game. Had high turnovers because she could play like a guy. And the girls weren't used to getting good passes, or they didn't think she could thread a needle, etc. But she was definitely the star of the league. But you look at all the things on the internet, and they're always showing stuff when she was in college.
Yeah.
Instead of and then they're calling her a rookie. She's in the second year of the league. She ain't no rookie.
Yeah.
And then Angel Reese too. They show that all this Iowa shit in there. Forget about the Iowa with Caitlin. Forget about the thing when they was in the championship series against Angel Reese in the NCAA thing. Let's just but the Angel Reese, she's a smart girl because she patented me bounds, right? So that bitch is over. She knows what the hell's going on. She gonna make some money, and she can turn those tears on. Oh, she's hurt, this and that. Shit, nothing but delusion. But it's great storylines. You can't play basketball, but she can stir the shit good. Look at me, baby.
Yeah. Well, anyway, good run by the Pacers. Wish they would have pulled it off. Who knows if Halliburton would have played? Maybe would have stayed on fire the whole game. Hell, he was on pace to hit about, 15 3-pointers for that game. Could have been a legendary game and a legendary win, but instead he's going to miss all next season and see what happens. Good run. William Lynn in the house for $4.99 super chat wants to know, did Rip ever meet Lou Thez? Did you ever see any bitterness towards him because of how difficult he was to work with in the past?
I was in the dressing room with him a couple times. I think it was when I was working with Nick Goulas, but I didn't talk to him or nothing. I was I didn't have enough balls to go up there and introduce myself because I was looking at him because he had if he didn't know you, he had a frown on his face, and he was a legitimate guy. I didn't want him to get mad at me because I was such a greenhorn, stupid, didn't know anything, and he would probably be insulted that I was let into the wrestling business.
Did you ever see any bitterness toward him?
Well, when you was in the ring with him, you worked his style. It was he did what he did, and it was your job to adjust to him. He wasn't going to adjust to you. He just played to his strengths and didn't mess with his weaknesses. So just shut up and do as he asks you to do, or just try and follow on, and you'll be fine with him.
Got it. Let's see. Who came up with the idea for you and Adrian Street to work together? I think we've talked about. Wasn't that Fuller?
Yeah, because I had a real good run there with my valet, and then Adrian come in and he got over being a heel with him and Linda. So then Fuller had the idea of bringing me back because they had turned Adrian babyface. So then first night in, we shot an angle. They all knew who we were. They all knew where he was. Then I went off and worked 26 weeks in a row with him in all the clubs except 3 days. So that was a trip. He was sure fun to work with too.
Thanks for the super chat, by the way, William Lynn. Frank's Pickle Barrel ass says that the Pacers need a center. Got killed on the boards. Yeah, I won't disagree that they did. I've always been a Miles Turner fan. I support him. I like him. I think he was really sick during the finals. That's what they said. But yeah, he can't rebound even when he's not sick. He can't rebound at all, which I wish he could, but he can't. When he's on,
right.
though, man, I tell you, when he's on, he's at that stretch center when he could actually is hitting. Like he shot 40% from threes during the year. He just had a shitty finals.
Yeah.
Like there's not too many centers that can guard him out there, and it's a great advantage at times. But when he never makes them, then it doesn't work out so well. Like the finals.
You disappeared on me. Okay. Oh, now you're back. Can you hear me? I guess you can hear me and you're frozen, it looks like. Great. Imagine that. So I'll just keep talking about. I was looking at my Facebook today and talking about, said Randy Savage was married 3 times. And I'm going, just a minute. Wait a minute. The girl he was always in love with. Now he wasn't boyfriends with Liz or nothing, but he when he was in the minor leagues, his girlfriend was Lynn Payne. Lynn Payne. So when I was finishing up with ICW, Randy actually Randy actually drove to Chattanooga to try and find his old girlfriend, Lynn Payne. When he got there, he had found out that she was married, and she was married to some guy named Pete. So I used to rib him and called him anyway, and said he owned. Well, he owns Pete's Paint Store. So, but then Randy met Liz, married her, got a divorce from her. Then he went off and uh, eventually married Lynn Payne again. Well, she got divorced, and then she looked Randy up. So that was always like his, I would call him the high school sweetheart. But when he was playing minor league baseball, it was Lynn Payne this and Lynn Payne that. But it was saying he was married 3 times.
This thing on?
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. My whole computer just froze and shut down.
Yeah, I noticed you was.
Start my whole computer. I'm back. We're back. We're on, Rip.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, don't
Probably.
off. You run this thing.
Huh?
Then my computer just shut down. You go buy a computer and do it. What you acting all mad for?
I'm not all mad. I was talking the whole time. It was like off, and then you disappeared. Then you just came back on.
All right. I'm talking about right now. I know I was off. I just told you my computer shut down.
Okay, let's see. Then you went off, and then you come back on again.
I know. Now you're acting like you're mad about something, like it's my fault.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Billy Ray Dollar, $4.99 super chat. What is the story of the Chopper earning his distinguished title? I don't know what that means. Like being called the Chopper?
It says Chooper. Why would somebody put Chooper?
Oh, I think he means Chopper, surely.
Well,
or maybe
people
not.
need to learn the goddamn spell.
Or maybe he's talking. Surely he's talking. I assumed he was talking about Chopper. Maybe not. But if he is, I guess he's talking about me. I don't know. I didn't really start calling myself Chopper. I think people in the chat started to. Could have been from this, maybe. Maybe it's from that. I don't know. Can you hear me, Rip?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Why aren't you talking?
I'm just listening. You just talk to somebody, ask you a question, and you
Well,
started
okay.
talking.
I guess maybe it's from that. And then I said, I don't know. You think? And you just sit there like, I don't know why. Do you know why, Rip? Somebody in the chat started calling me that, I think.
Have no idea.
Probably because I used to chop people would be my guess.
Oh, yeah, probably. That sounds pretty good.
It's all...
I like calling you Chooper better.
All right, from now on it's Chooper.
Yo, why would okay? I'm gonna call you from now on. You're Chooper.
All right, I'll be Chooper.
Okay, Chooper.
The distinguished title of Chooper. Now I don't know why they call me Chooper. I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay, now it just come up again. It says the
I know. I brought it up.
Okay. Chooper.
Let's see. Dave wanted to know something earlier. I can't remember what it was. Oh, not Dave, but George wanted to know if everything you read on the internet about Randy Savage was true.
Everything that I've read on Randy Savage is true. I'll just say yes. Everything is true. The one I was talking about this morning, it said he was married 3 times. He wasn't married 3 times. He's married 2 times.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Then it says Gorgeous George was his girlfriend. But, they'll make some statement in bold letters, Randy Savage, 3 times he's married. I said, well, he wasn't married 3 times. And then it says that Stephanie Beller's Gorgeous George was his girlfriend. Well, that doesn't mean he's married to her. Jesus Christ. I mean, you say 1 and 1 is 2. It's still 2. 2 and 2 is 4. Oh, no, Randy was married 3 times. I'm saying, well, he was married 2 times. Why do they say shit like that? God.
She was pretty hot.
Yeah, she sure was. But I could tell that was just something to have on his arm.
You think?
Yeah.
All right. Billy Ray Dollar said he meant Chopper.
Okay, there we go. Now, no, from now on, you're Chooper. Billy Ray Dollar started it all. From now on, you're Chooper. That's much more exciting. Chooper.
They said when I was gone, we were having a lights out match.
AEW,
what is it? Homage segment. We were doing our best AEW impression there.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Billy Ray Dollar said, obviously need to fire the entire production crew. And if by that means me, I am the entire crew. I guess so.
Yeah, if you well, you did make it there on time today with at least 30 seconds to spare. But I was
Maybe.
thinking, I said, well, hell, you clicked on earlier, and I said, well, maybe one of the girls did, and they got it ready for him, and he hadn't come back from his appointment yet. And you showed up. I said, all right, he made it.
Frank said he was the one that started calling me Chopper on here, so that's where it came from.
Well, Frank, he's always busy patting himself on the back. He probably was, but I think Frank should officially from now on change it to Chooper. Of course, I wouldn't remember it next week anyway, but Chooper, now Chooper, you really stick out with that.
You're the man, Frank. Pot Ripper said, this is the best live podcast I've listened to at this time on this day.
That's in and out,
All right, we need some questions, man.
Hey, today's that slap fest, whatever it's called, that Dana White's does, where they slap him in the face or whatever. Power slap, that's the name of it, isn't it?
What do you mean it's today?
Well, doesn't it play on Fridays or something?
Oh, I don't know. It's on all it's not like debuting today.
No, but it's supposed to be on tonight.
Oh,
I thought it was. Maybe I was
well,
wrong.
if it's on every Friday, why don't you say it every time we do a show? Today
because that.
Why is today special? I guess is my question.
Because this is the first one I knew was supposed to be on Friday.
Oh,
I've never watched it before. I've seen clips of it, but I didn't know. But then, because Sin's working down there, and then there's 3 people I know that are going to be on it. So,
well, that makes a big difference. Who's going to be on it?
Well, I don't know what names they're going by. But I know they have to go there and they teach them how to be a character in between and stuff. And these guys are wrestlers, and one of the girls. And
is this the one? What's her name? Hollywood? Is she on tonight?
I don't know if she. That's not the one I was thinking about, but maybe she is. I don't know.
Oh, I thought I saw somewhere where she was going to be on Power Slap.
Well, she might be, but I don't know what the deal is. The guy just said they was going to do the show Friday. So I don't know if they do 1 or if they do 2 or whatever. And then, chop it up. I have no idea.
I had seen her post a picture with Dana White a few weeks ago.
Okay. So I guess after today or whatever, we'll learn or whatever the deal is.
I'm going to see if I can get this YouTube thing to play and see what they said about us over here. Can you see that? I don't know. Hopefully the Monty and the Pharaoh don't zap us on this, but this is Monty and the Pharaoh, unfiltered and unforgettable Eric Embry on the show. Let's see.
The Monty and the Pharaoh show is brought to you by Because Wine is your second favorite.
Oh, there we are, right there.
You had to be able to go 60 as a babyface or a heel as a champion. And this guy had been around, and he was polite with everybody, but I wasn't intimidated. I didn't think I was good enough to even talk to him. But when that'd be like you're breaking in baseball and you're playing baseball with Babe Ruth, and you don't want to talk to Babe Ruth because you don't feel you're worthy of him. And that's the way I felt, was because I knew I was the shits, and I never thought I would stay in the business as long as I did here, of just talking shit and doing whatever.
Drew Wilson knows how to keep us. I don't know.
The guy I've been on his show.
I don't know. I guess I don't really get it. I guess I have to watch it. I don't know. Did they just show a clip of you, talk about you? I have no idea. Have you seen it, Rip?
No.
All right. Well, anyway, maybe I'll have to watch it and share it later. But looks like they used us, so surely to God we can use their clip of them using our show, right?
Shoot, maybe we might be fined millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars for that. Who knows, right?
Man, you're over, man.
We can get we can get in line to pay everybody.
Rip, how was Susan Green's ass back in 1972 NWA?
Hell, I didn't know. I
Do you
didn't
know
know
Susan Green?
Yeah, she's a big, tall girl wrestler. She's about 6 foot tall, or maybe taller. I think she might have been 6'2" or whatever. I'm thinking maybe 6 foot. She was a big girl. I didn't know Susan Green in 1972. I was going to Seymour High School.
I wasn't even born yet.
Okay, so you didn't know her either yet.
No. Italian says, Rip, have you ever refused to wrestle someone because they were messed up on drugs and alcohol?
No, I went in the ring and I'd had some Boone's Farm apple wine one time.
You did?
Yeah. And I immediately said, I'm never going to do that again.
Wow.
I remember I was trying to go out of the ring and I about like jump out. I killed myself.
So did you ever wrestle anybody that you knew was drunk at the time?
A lot of the older guys, they would go into the ring half buzzed, as I would say.
Really?
But they did it every night. So I got talked into having a little bit of Boone's Farm apple wine or whatever that stuff was, just a little bit. And since I wasn't a drinker, let's just say it affected me a whole lot. And they could drink and drink and drink and wrestle in the ring, and they were like normal with it. So I learned my lesson quickly on that.
I saw a clip of Hulk Hogan on Logan Paul's podcast or whatever, and he was talking about WrestleMania 18 when that Rock wanted him to do like a walkthrough of the match, and Hogan's like, I'm used to just sitting in the locker room and drinking some beer before the match by myself, not even sitting with the other guy. You think Hogan really drank beer before all those big WrestleMania matches?
Well, let's just say, I don't know, but let's just say Hogan can take nothing and make it into a story.
Yeah.
He's so good at it. And he's either ribbing everybody because he's making all this money, or so fucking delusional because he's been a superstar for so long. Who knows? But he's a hell of a storyteller, put it that way. And I see, when Hulk broke in, you just called it in the ring.
Yeah.
And that was normal for him because he was an old guy like me. But then The Rock come in a different day where them guys didn't learn to do that.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that part. I just wondered if those big matches, if people really just sat there and drank beer before the match.
Well, I'm going to say if he didn't mention that, you wouldn't have thought nothing of it, right?
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden it's controversial, isn't it? So you're thinking about it even more.
Yeah, I don't think I ever drank. I don't think I ever drank before a match. I remember I would ride with Damian Adams to some shows, and he would drink beer like in the car, driving the whole way there, wherever we were going.
Yeah.
He would just drink beer on the road to the place, but
right.
He didn't like continue once we got in the locker room. I never saw anybody drink like in an OVW locker room.
No.
Except for maybe when JBL had Seven go get him some beer once, but he wasn't even wrestling.
Okay. He was just hanging out. Nothing to do.
We were in a dry county, so Seven had to drive I think it was a pretty far drive to go get him and Ron Simmons a case of beer or whatever.
I remember we used to wrestle in Hazard, Kentucky, and Combs, Kentucky, which is like 2 miles outside of it. And it was a dry county.
Yeah.
And you'd knock on this door to the guy that had all the beer and stuff. But how we got there was the volunteer fire department and the volunteer policemen that sponsored the show, they told us where to go to get the bootleg stuff.
That's nice.
That was funny.
Let's see. Vito Andretti said that. I think he said somewhere I read Hollywood is supposed to be on tonight.
Okay.
Po Tripper, Pot Ripper Jr., $2 super chat. Choop and Rip, best Tommy Rich story.
Oh, I like the choop now. That's good. Well, let's see. I'll give you a couple Tommy Rich stories. One, I was driving down the highway, and all of a sudden I see Tommy pulling up next to me in the right, and I can't remember who he was with, but he's got something in his hand, and he's rolled the window down. So I'm driving next to him, and I'm trying not to hit him or him to hit me, and he handed me a bunch of pills, but I thought he had me some candy or something. What the fuck is this? That he just sped off going. So that was a nice little encounter. And then I remember it's like when I'd worked those tours with Ole, like in West Virginia and Michigan and Ohio, Pennsylvania, etc. I was supposed to wrestle him, and it's time to go on, but he was passed out in the dressing room. So all of a sudden, Buzz Sawyer comes out. So I'm working with Buzz instead. I said, "Where's Tommy?" He goes, "He had a few too many." So I'm just laughing. He's passed out in the dressing room. But he said he still got paid. He made the shot. He just sort of a little bit too ill to go on. So, and that was funny because me and Buzz always had some good matches. I would never trust Buzz, let's put it that way, but we had some good matches. So that's a couple little Tommy Rich stories. So what the hell?
I only have one. I've told it on here a couple times at least, but $2 super chat. I guess I'll tell it again and hopefully don't bore the people. Me and Rip went to wrestle for, I wrestled for Rock Parsons somewhere in Tennessee, and they were doing some TV for streaming or whatever, and we had a meeting, with everybody, do's and don'ts of the night, and of course Tommy Rich was not in the meeting. He was out selling gimmicks and probably partaking in some other things. And one of the things we were told not to do for sure was any kind of low blows. It was a straight wrestling show, no low blows, no screwy stuff. And we were in the big 6-man extravaganza at the end of the night, and the first spot Tommy called was a low blow, crawl under somebody's legs and give a low blow. And of course, we didn't tell him no because, I'm not going to tell Tommy Rich no. And I don't think Rock was too happy that we did that.
But the main thing was Romer was there, but
that was a different show.
Okay.
That was a different when he missed the photography.
Yes.
That was when I worked with the what was he called? USA Kid or US Top Gun.
Oh yeah. Top Gun. Well, Top Gun, he's got the kayfabe mask on. He's got the belt underneath.
He wore the padded chest gimmick too. Remember, I chopped him on the arm because he wore the padded chest gimmick. So then I chopped him on his exposed arm instead.
Well, he's so busy being over now. He's busy craving those light skinned mochas. So I was supposed to kayfabe that. So anyway.
Always around. There's always a way around. That's what I would do to Kevin Owens. If I didn't rip his shirt off, I'd just start chopping him right in the arm.
Holy shit.
Shane Parks, ever wrestle Les Thornton? You know Les Thornton?
Yeah, Les Thornton used to be the NWA junior heavyweight champion of the world. And did I ever wrestle him? No. Would I want to? No.
No?
No, no, because he was a good hooker, and he could just dominate and make fun of you, and there was nothing you could do about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was. All
So it
those
wasn't that he
guys.
was bad. He was just you didn't want to mess with him.
Yeah, I didn't because at the time I really wasn't very good, and he could take something as disrespect by me stiffing him, and I wouldn't be trying to, but he was such a light worker unless he need unless he needed not to be. But he was one of those legendary English wrestlers or United Kingdom wrestlers like Regal and Fit and Dave Taylor and Tony St. Clair.
Got it. Let's see where we're at here. Did you ever feud with the Freebirds, Rip? Aaron Iaz wants to know.
No, we was always on the same side. When I was working for Nick Goulas in Nashville in 1978, Michael come in with Terry, and Michael knew how to really get over. He was just such a rotten wrestler, but he was so flamboyant. That's when, after they left there, they added Buddy Roberts, where Buddy could be the general, and then Terry was the badass, and Mike could lead the cheers or moonwalk on the outside. And Michael Hayes was just Mr. Charisma. But did I ever work with it? No, we was always both heels.
All right, what else we got? Talking about Mil Mascaras. I think you talked about him before. No selling you, right?
Well, he knew that was universal. He was universally no selling everybody. So that was just he was God in those markets where you were catering to the Hispanics. So he was a big draw in Houston. He was a big draw in Dallas, San Antonio, and the southern parts of Texas down there. But he was, he didn't like to sell, but he made a living, and he was a movie star in Mexico. They would always have uh, and he would have the hood on, and he'd save the day. He was like Superman or whatever. It'd have the cape on and everything. And the big rib was he'd go there and he'd wrestle, and he'd go take a shower and keep his mask on. He didn't want you to see his face. But you can Google it on the internet there, and you can see good old Aaron Rodriguez without his
Oh, you can?
oh yeah, but he was built, that's for sure. I think he's about 83 now, or something like that. But he was jacked and always made money. So what the hell? And I'm trying to think of the guy that he was in WWE, and it was used to be married or not, or the boyfriend of Saraya or whatever that girl was from England. That's one of his nephews or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But when you wrestle Mexico, pretty much everybody's got a mask on. That's their big gimmick there.
All right, I'm going to put you on this question. I got to run down to the Lilas Cafe real quick. Billy Ray Dollar, $4.99 super chat. Rip, why is Rip prejudiced against older non-vascular men? I take it personal. I don't know if you can.
Oh, you must. Well, if you're skinny, you got no business being in the wrestling business.
Cut a promo on him, Rip.
Okay, if you're fat, it's an embarrassment to pro fucking wrestling. Even though the matches aren't real, you don't want to look across the ring and see some fat, out of shape guy blowing up that can't do nothing. He's uncoordinated. He can't run the ropes. He's obviously not an athlete. And the fans, they have no fear of him. They just soon jump in there and beat his ass because he's if you're too skinny, well, unless you're related to somebody, then it's okay. That's one of the unwritten rules of wrestling. If you're second or third generation, you can be skinny, you can be fat, you can be obese or whatever, but it's okay because your family's already been accepted into the pro wrestling business. So am I Would I want to see him? No. If you was in shape, I would tell you get in shape, or you won't be wrestling. But there is, if you are, it is okay to have one comedy wrestler that's fat, but make it be comedy. And if you're a skinny guy, if you're a built guy, just kill the guy. I mean, if you're 230 pounds of muscle, and it'd be like Mike Tyson boxing the Logan Paul or whatever, and if it was real, he wouldn't have lasted a minute. But anyway, just throw my 2 cents in, and I was giving them the laws and the lectures of being a lard ass.
Alberto Del Rio was his nephew.
Yeah, that's it.
Final boss engaged said. Let's see. Not seeing any questions, man.
Okay, well,
Get to some of your notes, Rip. You got notes today. What do you got on there?
Well, I've been reading some of that shit while you take off, this and that, or when we froze up and stuff.
Well, nobody heard you when we froze up. So.
Yeah, I know that. But anyway, it's like the Outrunners. They're still the superstars of AEW, Turbo and Floyd. Now, Megan Bain, she's kicking everybody's ass over there in AEW land. She's the head rockette. She's the queen. Looks like she's over 6 foot tall. And I guess she is. And but I don't know if she's got the lifts on or not, but then she wears the big thing. So she's doing well. And then Serena's there. Serena's there doing her gimmick, talking about Deeb's dojo and shit like that. And Rump Thump is getting that big paycheck every day. He's getting him a new house in Colorado. So Rump Thump's living large. So Rump Thump's a big star. And then Chris Sharp, he's hanging out. What's Chris Sharp? Chip Danning or something like that.
I don't know his name.
He's got a different name now. But yeah, but he broke up with the one of the Blossom Girls. So he's just got all the women on the line now. So he's learned.
Or he's gay. I don't know. One of the two.
Well, he's jacked. You know, he's got the head shaved pretty much and so make him look bigger. He's got the vein in the arm. So he's obviously been training. And then I heard as this is a wrestling thing, I heard he's got a lot of women on the side. So 6 to 60, blind, crippled, or crazy. The package is busy doing his thing. And we got to remember that he is the package, and he's not the trooper.
Nobody's a trooper. I don't know what I did with my phone stand, but 70QQ bought a phone stand yesterday. So, here it is.
Oh, I thought like I'll say, it's got to be on there every week.
Bought one, thought of the show, man.
Yeah, you ought to start selling them. Like the
no shit. I ought to put a link in, affiliate link in my
the Popeil Pocket Fisherman. You got the fucking the trooper selling the phone gimmicks.
That's right.
Hey, you seen where Nick Wayne is now the ROH champion?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, teenager being the ROH champion.
ROH doesn't even have a TV show.
I know, but they're the ROH champion. Well, that's like years ago that this guy would be the world heavyweight champion, but they wouldn't have a TV show. And they would have all kind of belts and everything, but they didn't have a TV show.
Well, let's see. We got some questions. Any final boss engaged? Any embarrassing stories about Ben Hameen?
Well, most of them are. The names have been changed to protect the guilty on those. So
I don't have any embarrassing stories about him, but I did piss on his stove once.
You pissed on his stove once?
Yeah.
How did you piss on his stove?
I don't know. A lot of drinking, I guess. I woke up. I was sleeping on his couch or floor. They had a mattress on the floor and a couch. Twink slept on the mattress on the floor. I feel like I started the night on the couch.
Yeah.
Apparently, I got up, pissed on his stove. I ended up in bed on the mattress, floor mattress with Twink, and like my pants were either off or unzipped and unbuckled. I thought I had done something with Twink at first, but really it was I had gotten up and pissed in the stove, I guess.
So was he asleep with his mouth open, and all of a
I
sudden
don't think so. No,
your nut sack had been drained or anything like
No.
that? Now,
No.
now who was over there? It was you, Ben Hameen, and Twink, and anybody else?
I think Hameen, one of his wives, lived with him too.
One of
So he had the bedroom. He had the bedroom with the wife, and
Uh-huh.
Twink was out on the floor. And then I would sleep there a lot. I'd either sleep there or at Blair, Anthony Bravado's, and Josie's place.
God, I
Bravado and Josie had an apartment together.
wonder what Blair's doing now.
I don't know. I was like friends with him on Facebook
Uh-huh.
for a while, and I would see him post stuff. He was like, I think, married and back into bodybuilding, but I haven't seen anything on him for a long time.
Well, a lot of times they don't want to hear nothing from us because we might say something to them, and then their old lady looks at it or whatever when you're reliving some of the stuff when you're like Chuper and stuff like that, when he was just like the human bicep. And then
I got some Blair. I got some Anthony Bravado stories for sure.
oh, can you do the names change to protect the
I've
guilty?
already told who it is. I can't tell these stories.
Oh, well, just wait a minute and say, hey, I was thinking about some other guy. Now it's not Blair Moan. It's not Anthony Bravado. And it wasn't Fang weighing 126.
He was a partier. Me, him, and Twink were always the main party guys. Jimmy too.
Imagine that.
Blair had all the hookups too. So Blair had all the get in free drinks. He had all the hookups. Shane Park says, how did you decide on who you wanted as your champion in ICW or OVW?
What'd we do? Flip a coin or what?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Just
DCW, I don't know. It was the big cat. I don't know. Maybe the guy with the biggest muscles, apparently.
yeah, it must have been. Well, if he was the champion and he looked real good, that covered up, because I couldn't have just a guy that didn't look good. I had to have you got to have a muscle guy, because well, he started doing the instead of being with girls, it was being with the other stuff, right?
Allegedly,
yes, allegedly. So I'm just thinking, damn,
maybe that's why you made him the champion.
If I'd have known that, I would have made him service me, But then again, I would rather have Fang, because he was like a little young boy. We could have had a bottle of lotion, put it in the microwave for 10 seconds, and might have been an adventure. But what the fuck?
Tyon said, Rip, what do you think of the WWE calling John Cena the greatest of all time? Are they calling him that, or is he calling himself that?
No, I think some mark said that or whatever, talking about Cena or whatever. It's not WWE says it, just because somebody works for them can say that, and then all they want to do is get likes and whatever. So you want everything you want controversy, so you can get people to comment on or get followers or whatever.
Do you think he's the greatest of all time?
Oh, hell no. Are you ripping?
Just wondered.
He's good.
Ever work or wrestle Jeffrey Ports?
No, that's Scotty McGee's dad. Scotty McGee's dad was the guy. Of course, he's from England, and Scotty McGee is Garfield Ports. That's his real name's Gary Ports, and he was from England. And I was with him in Tampa, and I was with him in Calgary, and he made a comment on that thing that I was talking about about Randy Savage not being married 3 times today. There was old Scotty McGee said, "Yep," or he agreed with it, or whatever. But anyway, Jeff Ports was the guy that Lanny Poffo. Lanny was the first American that I saw. He learned how to punch from Jeff Ports. They say you don't slap yourself, but you stop yourself. And Lanny had the best punch, but you didn't want to abuse it because all of a sudden there'd be 90 punches. There's no swelling, no bruising, etc. So it's obviously phony. But he was talking to Jeff Ports, and this is when Lanny worked for in Charlotte. This was about 1976, I'm thinking it is, or early 77. But that's how that come about, and that's what I know about Jeff Ports and his family.
I don't know what he's saying. Dave's channel, Rip Rogers, who used a gimmick in the ring that didn't need a gimmick. Simon Dean, for example. Who used a gimmick in the ring that didn't need a gimmick? I don't know. I don't know if he means a gimmick. I guess he doesn't mean like, I thought he meant like this kind of gimmick at first, but
no,
I guess he just means a gimmick like for his gimmick. Like Simon Dean could have wrestled probably as like Nova and didn't really need Simon Dean.
right.
I guess is what he's saying.
No, it's like the Bushwhackers. They used to call me the gimmick because I was just a gimmick without a gimmick. Your gimmick was you're just a total gimmick.
AG, all gimmick.
Yeah, AG, all gimmick, baby. Yeah, but the Bushwhackers, Butchie and Luke, which before that they were Brutal Bob the Chest Miller and Sweet William when they were making their debut in not England. Where'd I have the riots? Not South Africa, the other place that speaks English. Oh, Australia. Yeah,
Australia, mate.
Yeah, Australia. Isn't it funny how you got England, where the English language started? All of a sudden they come to America, and you got hillbilly English, but you got the English there. Then all of a sudden, miles and 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 miles away, all of a sudden they're speaking like they do in England, because when they were over there, that was a big country. That was where they put all the criminals. So the criminals would speak proper English. So the criminals would then when they would mate, and then they would they would have the English accent thousands and thousands of miles away, which was funnier than shit.
Yeah, back to the question about gimmicks. I mean, I don't know. I think it's always up for debate. It's like people say, "Oh, Eugene didn't need Eugene. It should have been Nick Dinsmore." Well, would he really gotten over as Nick Dinsmore like he did as Eugene? Same with even Simon Dean. You know, I know his run wasn't real long, but I don't know. Simon Dean shared the ring with Austin and Batista and some big stars. Would he as Nova? I don't know. Same with like the Spirit Squad. I mean, there's a lot of guys you can say, oh, their gimmick killed him or whatever. Well, maybe eventually, but if it wasn't for the gimmick, maybe they would have never made it in the first place.
That's right. That's like when Cowboy Bret Hart was there in WWE. You go, who in the hell is Cowboy Bret Hart?
Yeah.
Just a boring wrestler. And you kicked it up a little bit, and you stayed there and had name change. You shoot some angles and shit, and all of a sudden you're half-ass over. Then you get real over, and that's what the wrestling business is. You learn how to work without a big ass push, and it's like you can be real good, and you can get in trouble for having too good of matches, even though you're not breaking the unwritten rules. You're just selling more and respecting each other, and you're a whole lot more smarter, and you've had a whole lot more matches than some of the so-called stars. That they come out of a feeder system and they really don't know anything, and they all work and look the same. It was wrestling's a funny business.
Any Chick Donovan stories?
Chick Donovan?
Yeah.
Oh, Chick was a human gimmick. I think Chick's 80 something now.
I just
He's
saw, unless it was an old picture, I saw a picture of him that where he was still wrestling. I thought it said 70 something, but
okay. It might have been, but I
it
know
could
he
have
was.
been an old picture too, like an old post. But he was like jacked and
Yeah, that's Chick.
blonde hair and still like wrestling or whatever.
Yeah, that's Chick. He's still a human gimmick. He used to have the gimmick. He always talk about his talking dog. He always said he had a dog that could talk, you know, and he would always talk to the marks, so they thought he was half nuts. But I remember I worked a lot with when I went in to work some shows for WWE. They tagged me and Chick up.
Yeah, I seen one of them. Is that
Uh-huh.
against like the Smoking Guns or somebody?
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And then Chick Oldie tagged me and him up too, just to just because he had blonde hair and everybody knew who he was and stuff. And he was a good worker. He worked there for years. Nobody ever complained. He was real funny and he had a real good attitude. So whatever he asked him to do, he'd do it to the best of his ability and didn't bitch about it or whatever. So what the hell?
Shane Park, seeing green. Uh-oh. Well, this is my question anyway. So, Vaughn, were you a tag champion or just a heavyweight champion? OVW, I was the heavyweight champion twice. I beat my old partner, APOC, who was Victor in the Ascension. And I beat Aaron the Idol Stevens, who was Damian Sandow. And I was tag champion, Southern Tag Team champion twice as well, I think, with APOC, who was Rick Victor or Victor in WWE. I have no idea who we beat. I don't think. I can't remember. But yeah, so twice on both. Rip, did you ever wrestle against the Road Warriors back in the old NWA days?
Yeah.
Power Man 1977 wants to know.
Yeah. And
you did? I don't know that I knew that. You did?
Yeah, I can't remember where it was at or TV or whatever the hell it was. I just remember they liked to work with me because they'd always beat my partner so they could work with me.
Oh, yeah. I do remember you saying that.
Yeah, that was what I did with the Nasty Boys too. So I could do whatever they wanted to do. And they knew there was going to be no violence with me. I told them guys, the Road Warriors, I said, don't you dare hurt me. I'm fragile. But he goes, because Hawk would say, you ain't going to do nothing. And then Animal goes, I said, Animal, you're on so much shit. You're always just frowning. You're always fucking mad. And I'm afraid you're going to hurt me. Well, he goes, I'll start smiling then. I said, no, well, don't do that. No, please. Don't kill the town.
Hesma Sheen said Chick is 78.
Okay. He looks fucking great.
Frank wants to know if you ever worked any Glow wrestling girls.
Glow wrestling girls.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I remember when the Glow thing come out because Dave McLean had something to do with that, I'm thinking. And he's got the Wow girls now. The one the one that Ray Lynn worked. Ray Lynn's a boss there now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Dave's been with him, and Dave's bankrolled by Jeannie Buss. Has been for years. So they go out there and they do a bunch of tapes in Los Angeles. But Dave's been at that shit for years, making a living wrestling.
Ever work with Professor Dale Lewis in Florida?
I was on. Let's see. He was in Portland when I was there, but he was just living there. So this is when I first come into Portland, and we ran Eugene with like 8 guys, and the rest of the guys like Piper and Buddy Rose and these other guys. Don Owens had his Portland TV tape in San Francisco. Well, Royce Shires had quit running, and Buddy Rose had worked on top there, and Roddy Piper had worked there on top. So Shires was having Don Owens put his tape on there, so at least they knew who they were. At one time, ICW had a tape on in San Francisco, and we was sending it to Red Bastine, and they was paying him for a tape, and he'd send us back half the money and ship the tape back. So San Francisco used to be a big time place where they sold out for years at the Cow Palace. So that was a hot place for years.
Yep. Another gimmick, Mark Kapani, who was Mark Magnus.
Yeah.
Who was Muhammad Hassan. I guess the Dark Side of the Ring one is out on him, I guess. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it, Rip?
No, I haven't seen it, but yeah, all he did was get over.
William Lynn wants to know your thoughts on what they did with him.
Oh, it was horrible. They fired him.
I don't know if he means the firing part or making him that gimmick in the first place.
No, that gimmick was so good. And then when they had the bombings and stuff in New York or whatever, if not, that was just like the Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
It was just Iron Sheik was such a hot heel. They had him win the WWE the championship. He was so over, and he had so much.
See, it happens to Rip too. He just goes black. Second time. Yeah, when I do it once, he gets all mad, but he's out for the second time now. Come on, Rip. Doesn't get any better than this. What else we got in here? Maybe I can plug some shit. About ready to wrap this thing up anyway. Hey, Tony, if you're watching out there, Rip needs a job right there, still doing that gimmick. Oh, there's Rip back. He just comes and goes as he pleases.
Yeah.
Got a Rip Rogers t-shirt. I'm plugging some of your shit while you're gone.
Yeah, every phone call that comes on, my thing just boom, and I'm gone. Just and they're all bogus scam calls too. Imagine that.
Rip's new book, Rip's old book. Rip's got a third book coming out. It's going to be great.
It's going to be the greatest book that day.
What else we got in here? I got some old pictures up here.
There's Tojo.
Rip and Tojo.
That was in Seymour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The legendary. There's the fabulous Danny Fargo, Audie Hager from Nicholasville. There's Little Sexy, or is that Big Sexy?
The Red Hornet or Little Sexy or whatever his name was.
Yeah, with the Big Show.
The Big Show.
Uh-oh, look at this. Look at this group. That was George Weingroff and his brother. There's Josie.
Josie with the clone. That's Little Lexi.
Yeah. Yeah.
2007.
Mm-hmm.
There, chopping time. There's my fingers. That's what she called me. Her shirt has all pictures of me on it.
Oh.
How about that?
And instead of chooper, it's chopping time, baby.
Yeah, it's chooping time.
It was.
Oh, I forgot to get our 80s trivia shows out there today. Man. Me and David Flair right before he got fired. All the legends right there. 4 legends right there, Rip. 4.
Well, 5. You got Julie's.
Oh, I was counting Julie. I was counting Julie.
That was a good one.
Man, we haven't seen this in a while. Wait. You know what I need? I need to get the arm wrestling. I don't have it back on here. His last match, getting pinned by me. Kinda. You can unmute your mic for some reason. It says you're muting yourself. Chris Cage, Red Dog, Sheldon Benjamin, Eugene, Conway, David Flair, all the top stars. There's Dr. Tom sneaking out the door. Ah, listen to that pop. It's like a Road Warrior pop. Road Warrior pop there. Did you hear that, Rip? Could you hear it?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, for whatever reason, I play the video. You're muted. I don't know why. I tried to unmute you, but it says you chose to be muted. So I don't know why it wouldn't let me.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't let me unmute you for some reason.
Well, I only got my master's degree in technology. So.
No getting better than that, man. Ask Rip some Andy Griffith Show questions. Well, he'll know those answers. No, I do not wear those. Those were like sweatpants. I never wrestled before. That was like the first time I've been in a ring. They were sweatpants. Those are not what I continued to wear. Yeah, nothing like getting in the ring for the first time with John Cena and Sean O'Hare and Mark Jindrak and Nick Dinsmore and Shelton Benjamin and all that shit, man.
But you won the match, right?
Yeah, I beat John Cena at the end.
Awesome.
It's awesome. Greg Smith in the house. Was Shelton Benjamin the best athlete you ever trained? Greg Smith in green. Welcome, Greg. Think Shelton was the best athlete? I think you said, what was his name? Gosh, what was the name? I think he maybe committed suicide.
A lot of guys did that.
Had at OVW. I think maybe he went to jail. Am I thinking of the wrong guy? Dave, what was his name? Oh gosh, you had him at OVW. I think he was under contract. Very athletic.
Well, Brock would have had to been the best athlete
Over Shelton?
Well, after that, Shelton's amateur thing was over, where Brock played pro football and he did UFC and was champion.
Yeah. Oh, has the machine. Slick Robbie D. Was it Slick Robbie D?
Oh, Slick Robbie D, baby.
Wasn't he a real good athlete?
Yeah. He had the vertical jump record.
Thanks, Hez Machine. Appreciate it.
Yeah. He had the vertical jump record where he went to school at. And it was a major place. And he was an amateur wrestler. But Shelton was great, but Brock excelled in more things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we had some freaks there at OVW. That was just man, I'd say, man, the great athletes, great physiques, some guys with great fucking attitudes, some guys with shitty attitudes.
I mean, even the guys that weren't in there were, I mean, like Batista and Tomko and Waterman, and I mean, there was, man, I'd have to go back through, and a lot of people, even the second round of people that came through there were good athletes and big motherfuckers. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know, man. I think that's could be about it for the day. Hey, I see Vito Andretti back in here. I see Vito's doing some stuff online. Stephen Allen, go follow him. Go Pro Wrestler Reacts. He's getting that thing kicked off. So go check out his channel on YouTube. He's always been a good member of the show, former OVW alumni or whatever, original. But we'll get this. We got the head bob going, Rip.
Is it going?
It's going. Thanks for all the participants out there today. Shane Parks, William Lynn, Billy Ray Dollar, Toe Tripper, Pot Ripper Jr., Shane Parks, Billy Ray Dollar. Appreciate it. Everybody have a good weekend. We are out of here.
So I money fold and rubber band wrap.